Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Jessie Nealand, and today we're going to talk about one of the body image avatars, which you should totally check out my other work on. If you haven't seen it yet, I have videos on the 4 body image avatars, and the one that we're going to talk about today is the high achiever. And the reason for this is because the question that I'm getting right now is, how do I feel special if I'm not special? And this is a very high achiever type question. This is something that happens to be really common, really popular among people who identify or resonate with the high achiever avatar, because these are the people who are most bought into the system of like hierarchy and social status equals worth. So the question of how do I feel good about myself if I'm not better than other people? That's what we're really asking here. How do I have confidence if I'm not the thinnest person in the room, the most attractive person in the room, the smartest person in the room, the most successful person in the room? That is how the high achiever has learned to measure their own self-worth. They measure based on social hierarchies that say this is who's at the top. They're better, they're more worthy, they're more valuable. And if this resonates with you, you're probably somebody who has felt like you had to earn your worth by doing certain things and looking a certain way. This ties into body image, obviously, because people feel like, okay, like in order to be worthy, I have to be really good. I have to prove how good I am by dieting, by exercising, by, exercising self control or whatever it is to feel like, okay, my body is the way it's supposed to be. It fits cultural norms and ideals, and I'm up here at the top of the social hierarchy of what kind of body is good. And that's how I know I'm valuable, I'm worthy, I'm good, I'm safe, I'm okay. So this is a really common mentality for the high achiever. And then when we go through this recovery work and moving towards body neutrality, a lot of times part of this work is just dismantling these hierarchies inside yourself and divesting yourself from the idea that you're more worthy if you're at the top of a sort of oppressive social hierarchy. So in this work, it often comes up like, okay, I can work on dismantling this and I can work on divesting myself from the idea that I have to be better in order to be good enough, in order to be worthy. But then what the hell do I base my worth on? How do I feel confident? If it's not that, what else is it? So I wanted to say there's 2 things that feel really, really important if you're in this boat, if this is something that resonates with you. The first one is to recognize you don't. Maybe you don't feel special. Maybe special isn't the height of worthiness. Maybe special doesn't have any place. Maybe it does. I'm not telling you that it definitely doesn't, but I would question it. I would get really curious about why special or better is such a powerful player for you in your understanding of yourself, your worthiness, your value in the world. I would just be really curious about that. Examine it, see, is that true? Do I have to be special or better? Do I have to be superior? Do I have to be at the top 1% of something in order to be worth anything? I don't think so, but something to be curious about for you. Um, and if it's not worthiness, or rather, if it's not about specialness, if it's not about being better, then maybe you switch over and instead of trying to believe that you're special, switch over and just try to feel good. There is a lot for the high achiever to do in the space of rewiring their reward system, because a lot of times they have only linked over decades, only linked their reward system, their dopamine, their feel good chemicals, to being better, to being special, to succeeding, to avoiding failure. These are the only ways that they get dopamine hits, the only ways that they feel good about themselves. It's been wired. They've really, really practiced this. So, what you can do is instead of trying to feel special or trying to feel good about yourself in the way that you always have, just shift your attention and your intention over to trying to feel good. Doesn't have to be worthy or better or special. You can just feel good. And if you focus on that and learn how to, receive pleasure in your body and let that be a priority and actively, consciously practice seeking out pleasure, receiving pleasure, whether that's somatic pleasure, tactile, taste, sound, music, dancing, friendship and connection, sex and intimacy. There are so many ways to practice and prioritize pleasure and also play. You can practice and prioritize play in your life. What would be fun? What would sound enjoyable? What would you do if you didn't have to do anything else? And do more of that thing. And these are ways that you can start to rewire your body and your brain so that you just feel good more often. You feel more joy, you feel more pleasure, you feel more good. When you do that, it will feel less important to feel worthy or to feel special or to feel better. So, this is a total paradigm shift. It's not about, oh, you're going to feel worthy and special by feeling the most pleasure, because we're away from the hierarchies at this point. There isn't a ranking system, there isn't a comparison. It's a totally different paradigm, totally different intention, just to feel good more often. Make that a priority. The more good you feel in your body, the more your reward system is able to respond to daily things in your life that have nothing to do with the hierarchies or being better or special, the less important that's going to feel. It's a long-term project, I realize that, but there you go. And the other thing is to just build out a sense of self, build out a sense of identity and things that make you feel worthy outside of the hierarchies, outside of things that make you feel special, outside of things you're good at. Try new stuff, fail at stuff, build a resilient, robust sense of yourself that includes all of your weaknesses, all of your failures, all of your courage, all of your, experience, all of your playfulness, all of your everything. And let yourself build out a sense of self worth and self identity that has nothing to do with comparing yourself to other people. And again, this takes time. Leaning into new hobbies, learning new skills, meeting new people, stepping into new character traits inside of yourself. There's all these things you can do so that on the other side of that work, you are able to say, yeah, I like myself. I feel worthy and valuable. I'm great. I'm good. And if somebody else doesn't agree with that because they don't see me at the top of a particular hierarchy, that can't devastate me because I just disagree. I think I'm good. I like myself. So building up that really robust, resilient sense of self-worth outside of comparison, outside of how you look, outside of body control is going to be super helpful down the line for you to say, like, yeah, maybe I'm not special. Maybe I'm not the thinnest person in this room or the most attractive person wherever. Like, maybe I'm just normal, but I'm happy and I feel joy and I feel pleasure and I like myself. And that is how you step out of that sort of hierarchical thinking that happens. So, again, this is most commonly going to be associated with the high achiever body image avatar, but it can also technically apply to anybody because this is obviously like how we're all conditioned to think of ourselves on like a system of social hierarchies and where we're considered valuable and worthy. So, hope that was helpful. If so, please go ahead and hit like, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, turn on notifications. You know the drill. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next week.